This is Stars and Scopes with your friend Uma, updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, take a look at your rising sign first if you know it, and do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're interested in your birth chart, check out the readings page at umaruby.com. And if you'd like to support the work, head over to buymeacoffee.com/umaruby and you can buy me a coffee. Finally, if you're a visual learner, look up Uma Ruby Tarot on YouTube and you can watch and learn. Okay, let's take a look. Hello Aries and Aries rising. Welcome to your horoscope for the new moon happening in Cancer on the 29th of June at 12:52 p.m. if you're in the Southern Hemisphere with me. On that note, if you're wanting to ritualize this new moon and spend some time in the dark and call in what it is that you need, I suggest that you do it the night before, just so you can get the visceral experience. You can do it during the day on the 29th, that's fine. And if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, then the 28th is perfect. I can't remember the exact time, but you can look that up. Look up New Moon Cancer 2022, it'll tell you. So, welcome to your reading. I'm going to touch lightly on the astrology, but I'm really going to go into tarot tonight. It's been really calling me to get these messages out through the cards rather than focus in so much on what's going on with the planets. It's fairly simple and it's fairly pleasant and lovely. The new moon is becoming exact at 7 degrees in Cancer. The tarot card for that exact degree is the Two of Cups, which is a beautiful energy to meditate on. For you, Cancer is in your 4th house, which is your home and your idea of safety and roots and stability and ancestry. So the Two of Cups is the first tarot card that touches on those Cancerian energies. This makes me think that there's something calling you back. There's something calling you back to reunite with at home. That could be anywhere. That doesn't have to be your exact place of birth, or that doesn't have to be the family that you grew up with. But that sense of security and safety and comfort is something that you can really work with at this new moon and really call in. I wonder if there's been a sense of boundlessness for you lately, Aries, that's asking you to come back and to reestablish what safety means to you. And that could be completely by yourself too. I don't for a moment think that we need to rely on our blood family or, any structure around us to feel that sense of comfort. But when it comes to thinking about ancestry and when it comes to thinking about where we came from, it's a nice thing to meditate on, and it's a nice thing to call in a new relationship with that space, however that will manifest for you. But it's a lovely moon for you to really sit in the water of your body, sit in your emotions, and rediscover where home might be for you and how that makes you feel. So that's the moon there. I don't know about you, but the full moon in Sagittarius that we just lived through was so life-changing in a lot of ways. It brought up so much stuff that had been set down for a long time. And there was so much that we were sort of forced to release in a lot of ways. I think for you, Aries, it would have been your 9th house. So that would have been your relationship to spirituality and to religious teaching and learning, and what it was perhaps that you were raised to believe, as opposed to what it is that you do believe yourself and what you can let go in that space. That full moon, that big fat strawberry moon that was shining down on us 2 weeks ago, was really calling us to let go of those things. So that's an interesting relationship to tie into your home and your ancestry and your roots as well, because they can sometimes have something to do with one another, the 9th and the 4th. It's an intimacy there that fire and water, so different sorts of parts of our body that we're working with. We're working with water for home, and for the religious teaching, it was more of a fire energy, the Sagittarius sort of going out and seeking and learning for yourself. So you let go of that last time. Well done. So what are you calling in? What kind of Two of Cups energy do you need to feel safe in your own body and to feel at home? Now, the new moon is in, again, a difficult aspect, this time with Jupiter. So if you remember Jupiter, she's our kind auntie that's there at every, footy match that you play or dance recital or whatever it is. Jupiter's in the front there with the video camera cheering you on. She's sitting at 7 degrees in Aries, which is your first house. So it's your house of the soul. If I'm talking to my Aries risings, it's really that soul purpose. It's like, who am I and how do I move from this space and what do I want to do and achieve? And so Jupiter's reminding you that you've got some big fish to fry here. There's a couple of different ways that you could go, but there's an action plan that is being drafted by you in your periphery. So the square, I wouldn't consider it so much a difficult aspect this time. I'd consider it a reminder to not let this go in that search for comfort and safety and reunion and home. Maybe let them work together. If we can make this square, if it can be in its pressure, a square can often be, that's what it is, it's pressure. So can one inform the other? Can your newfound sense of self be reacquainted with your ancestry and with your home life? That's one thing to think about at this new moon and one thing to call in. Remember, at the new moon, we really have power to ask for what we need and to make active steps in our lives to find that space and to call it in. So that's the astrology. I'm going to leave it there. It's quite light. There's some other things going on, but I think that this, the new moon to be happening at the Two of Cups is a really healing, regenerative space. So I think after everything that's gone on in the last bit of time, particularly that last full moon was quite a big one. So this is a clearing. This is a nice, gentle space to ask for what we need, for comfort. So tarot. I'm talking to Aries now. Can you fill in these blanks for me, please, Tarot? What story can we paint? How can we help Aries achieve what they need to in that sense of security, that sense of relaxation and being exactly who they are and that being perfect? How can we find comfort for Aries as they discover who it is that they really are? I've got the Three of Wands and the Ten of Cups, that delusion from last time, but she's coming out again. So I wonder. One more, please, Spirit. Oh. Queen of Cups. All right. I get a sense that we're moving past this Two of Wands energy. This action plan has been written and you're looking out and you're awaiting the next step. You've made the plan and you're going to be moving forward on this. There's a real sense of hope here for happiness. I really see it for you, Aries. I think that we've worked through the difficulty with Neptune, that we've figured out what the delusion was in this space, in this Ten of Cups space. At the last moon, we've figured that out. Okay, so this is, what's perfect. Nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. Nothing lasts forever. This is coming to a head for you, and there's someone in your periphery that is representing this Queen of Cups here. There's someone here that has their toe in the water that is completely regenerative in their emotional energy. They've got big ears to listen, and they've got a big heart to absorb everything that you've got to say and everything that you're feeling. And this homecoming, in a sense, that you're planning has to do with this person here, this Queen of Cups. So in your manifestation, as you're enjoying the calm from this new moon in Cancer, remember the moon is happiest in Cancer. She rules Cancer. So all of our emotions are going to swell up, and all of our hopes and dreams for our heart space and our love, our capacity to love, are going to come up at this new moon. And this queen here is an emblem for you. It's a lighthouse. This is who I see this person for you. You're moving towards this queen. You're moving towards them, and you've got so much to tell them about who it is that you are now. Remember this Two of Wands in your first. Remember this on the soul level. This Two of Wands is your purpose in life and what you've learned and what you've taken and absorbed from your outer sphere. And you've reincorporated that, and you're working with that now. And this queen wants to hear all about it. She wants to hear about who you are now. She wants to celebrate with you under the rainbow. We've moved past the delusion of this card, if you remember. We're moving past that sort of, that harsh aspect, that pressure from this space. This is a place to land. This is what I really feel for you, Aries. You're coming to a clearing. And I think that this is really going to serve you really well if you remember this action plan that you made before. Jupiter's there to remind you. So this square with Jupiter and the moon, it's not harsh. It's not vicious. It's not difficulty. It's a big reminder that this is who you are now, and this is the person that you are going to reunite with this queen. It's interesting, it's sort of, as I hold them up, her back's turned. She's waiting. She can sense it. She's making a little wish, I think, here, to call you in, to call you back to that home space. And I wonder what she has to tell you. I wonder who she has become. I mean, she's the queen now. Perhaps she wasn't the queen before when you last met up, or you last were together, you last were united. That's interesting. Well, there you go, Aries. That's a very simple, lovely, gentle reading for you. There's little that you need to worry about with. You can have everything. That's what I'm learning about astrology. It's sort of like if you break down the year and you ritualize every 2 weeks, these different moons, these different phases, these different things to think about. I know sometimes the mind can really rattle around. I have 10 billion different conversations in my head at all times. I'm a Gemini moon, so it's sort of that is part of my makeup, and I've come to terms with that, and that's okay. So I understand, I can empathize with that friction in the brain, and how there's so many different thoughts at all times moving to and fro. Allow this space with the new moon to be a nice, gentle, calming, soothing, salving energy. We need to have you feeling comforted and cradled. In some ways, this Queen of Cups could be the moon. You know, I've said that before, but I think that if there's no one that you can sort of think of, or if there's, you know, I'm sure that there's a bunch of different people you're thinking of, but know that you will be received by them as you are received by the moon, which is from a space of love. And what beautiful, beautiful reunion and reconciliation and victory you'll share. I'm very proud of you, Aries. This is great. This is big soul stuff. You've been doing a lot of work this year on the self. That's very obvious. And it's all coming to a head. So call in that support. Call in that that victory march, call in that comfort. Oh, there's the sand. It's all gone. Well, you've got all my love, Aries. Take care. If you'd like to head over to my website, umaruby.com, I can give you a private reading, or you can head to buymeacoffee.com/umaruby if you'd like to give me a tip. Other than that, I'll see you in 2 weeks for the full moon in Capricorn. Interesting. Career stuff for you. We'll talk about it then. But your public persona there's things that you need to let go of. Very exciting. Very exciting. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Bye. Love you. Bye.